Destiny 1 was a game that seemed to keep getting better and better as the years went on, with updates and DLC dealing with issues that fans had with the game. It's almost as if Bungie actually listened to what people had to say and dealt with criticism by making improvements. So with that said, I think it's fair to say that hopes were pretty high for the sequel. So what's it like? Well, for starters, I'm pleased to say that Destiny 2 does actually have a story this time. An evil warlord called Ghaul takes over the solar system and takes away the light that gives Guardians their power and basically plans on getting immortality. You and your ghost are left for dead, but after regaining your light you become the universe's only chance of salvation. It's your job, alongside a small group of rebels, to take Ghaul down. Now I've got to say the story actually impressed me, in particular the amount of attention given to the Ghaul character. Think back to my Uncharted Lost Legacy review when I said that too often games focus so much on the heroes that not enough time is spent getting to know who we're meant to be fighting against, which takes away a lot of the motivation for winning. But here, Ghaul's given room to shine with his very own cutscenes. We find out his past, his goals, his dreams. When this little symbol appears at the start of a cutscene, it's like, meanwhile, here's what the bad guys are getting up to, letting us know that they're not just sitting around, but are actually doing something. We get to find out exactly who it is we're up against. This is an adventure that will take you across the galaxy to do battle with old friends like the Vex, the Cabal, the Fallen. Fights are always fun and kind of frantic, especially when all the different races start fighting amongst themselves, with you stuck in the middle trying to decide which team looks like they're going to lose so you can side up with them. I like how many options you have to get out of a sticky situation, whether it's your rechargeable grenades, your heavy weapon such as a rocket launcher or even a sword. Plus you've got a special move and a class ability, so there's a bunch of different options for you to use, and it's all about careful timing, with all of these different things recharging at different rates, so you want to make sure you find the best time to use them. Critical hits are particularly satisfying as they do a nice increased amount of damage, making it really worth taking your time to make sure you pull off the headshots. One thing I will say is that even anyone half good at a first person shooter will find the first 10 or so hours of the game really easy, especially if you take the time to do all of the side missions and level up a bit. Obviously it's not a problem later on because, as we all know, Destiny's more about what happens once you finish the main campaign and not what you do during it, but it's a shame that the first playthrough of the story is almost laughably easy. In fact, to create a challenge you kind of have to almost throw yourself into the danger, because otherwise you can just hold back, take out all the enemies and never ever be at risk of dying.
That one's gotta be a transmat beacon thief. He looks even thiefier than the first one.
I've got to say the environments here are a huge improvement over the original. Whereas before it felt like big, open, empty spaces with not a lot going on. Here they're unique, they're full of nice things to look at, whether it's the architecture or the natural features. Plus there's lots to do in them. It's as if all the empty spaces from before were cut out, leaving only the good bits. Oh, apart from the waves on Titan, they don't look great. But I do love the fact that one of the environments here is basically just a big floating oil rig, because it's something different. Fights here can vary between tight corridors to big open spaces with lots of verticality to them. Even the game's hubs are different, with rather than the luxury of the tower, the game begins with you having a farm as your main base, giving you this feeling that you're starting with nothing and have to slowly work your way back up to the top. Each of the different planets and moons have side quests scattered all over them called adventures, in which you have to do things like kill a certain enemy, protect a certain area, or investigate a strange signal. All of these are fun to do, as long as they don't contain too many platforming sections. Yeah, I had my eyes rolling every time the game wanted me to climb something. I mean, first person platforming's hard to get right at the best of times, let alone when you throw in Mega Man's disappearing blocks. However, one thing I did notice while playing these adventures is that there's a surprising amount of comedy in the game. It's pretty rare for a game to genuinely make me laugh out loud, but somehow Destiny 2 managed it on multiple occasions.
Decade 6 is currently caught in a teleportation loop. He's over there. Whoop! Now he's over there. Whoop!
He's moving? Well, that's complicated.
What drives me on in Destiny 2 is that constant desire to get better, whether it's to unlock new moves, new weapons, new pieces of armor. Actually, an early highlight of the game is when you unlock a new subclass for either your Hunter, your Titan, or your Warlock, because a new subclass means a whole new set of moves for you to go out and play with. Unfortunately though, all three of the subclasses aren't too different from each other, which is a bit of a disappointment. A lot of the moves repeat across all three of those subclasses, or with only mild differences, like for example, instead of fire-seeking grenades you may get electric-seeking grenades. It's a shame there's not a deeper skill tree to explore with some more skill-related customization. But I do like the power level mechanic, where basically everything you have equipped contributes to this kind of average number of all your gear, both offensive and defensive, put together. So basically it's a way of seeing how strong someone is, and I like that you're constantly pushing this number up with every new piece of equipment, making it feel like you're always making some kind of progression. Of course, the PvP element of the game is back with the Crucible. Here players get to duke it out in small 4v4 arenas across a series of different game modes, using all their different guns and abilities from the main game, only with their levels stripped away to create a more even playing field. I like that most of the modes have a heavy focus on teamwork, with teams that stick together usually doing the best. It's even got countdown mode, which is basically like CSGO, with one team trying to plant a bomb and the other trying to defuse it, with 1 life each plus revives, making for a more tactical way of playing. At the moment the level cap is 20, which doesn't take you that long to reach, but after that it's all about pushing up that power level. Plus you do keep on earning XP, and every time your level bar fills, you earn a bright encryption, which contains either legendary or, if you're very lucky, exotic equipment, so XP never becomes completely useless. Plus, on completing the main story, you unlock daily challenges, planet patrols, challenging quests, and of course there's a weekly Nightfall strike to get stuck into. So there's really a lot to keep you busy. In fact, many people may find this game the only game they need for the next couple of years. As I said before, the game looks beautiful, in particular the lighting. There's a bunch of moments where you think, wow, this looks cool. But even better than the graphics is the music. The composers did a great job of getting you in the mood for whatever you're doing, so that's big, epic orchestral themes for the battles, complete with a choir, right down to nitty-gritty, high-energy electric music for when you're exploring deep down in a Vex cave. There's plenty of moments when I was listening to the music as much as I was focusing on the gameplay, which doesn't really happen to me that often in a game. Now, onto one of the biggest flaws to the game, and something that seems to have gotten a lot of people mad. Microtransactions, and in particular color shaders. So this time around, a pack of shaders is one-time use only. So basically you choose your item of clothing or gun or spaceship that you want to color, you use your shader, and then that's it, it's gone. So if you want to color your whole outfit in one shade, then you're going to need multiple shader packs to do it, which isn't good for a bunch of different reasons. 1, the shaders you get are random, so the chance of getting the same one twice is pretty slim. And 2, you find yourself constantly switching equipment as you get new and better stuff, so you don't want to waste shaders on something you may not be keeping for long. I think that in a game where potentially you're going to be pouring in hundreds and hundreds of hours, you should probably be able to freely customize how you look. I mean, look, for example, what if you're in a clan and you all want to wear the same colors? Shouldn't that be something that's easy to do? But no, unfortunately not. Oh, and one more thing. It's kind of bizarre that you get your sparrow in a random encryption rather than just given it as part of the story. You would have thought that a key item like your main mode of transport wouldn't be something that's just left to chance. It's weird. Destiny was the first game that I ever reviewed, and I loved it back then and I love it even more now. Apart from the shaders, there's really not a lot to criticize, so I can't wait for the future updates and add-ons to bring even more life to this already superb game. Now, I'm off to do a couple more strikes, so let me know what you think of Destiny 2 in the comments below, and until next time, thanks for watching. Destiny 2, baby!